Hello everyone and welcome to this week's garden tour. It is August and the garden's going a bit wild. This is that time of the year that I feel a bit overwhelmed with the garden because we have a lot of harvest to process, which is a great thing. I feel very fortunate that I've been harvesting tons of tomatoes, but that also means that I spend a lot of time inside processing them. So the garden is not looking super upkept, but it's okay. I think it's natural for that to happen by this time of the year, especially when we go to the plot. You see it's very weedy there, but I'll try to find some time this week to take care of that. But for now, we're gonna start here at our backyard. I'm also going to be doing some light harvesting as we go, so we'll be picking up a few things here and there that needs to be taken inside. The green stalk here is actually looking really good. It's starting to look nice and full again. The basil that I planted on the other side is starting to grow a bit. Still gotta take care of this nasturtium that died, but there's the basil is growing, it's ready to be trimmed pretty soon. This one is already starting to flower. I also gotta harvest this lemon balm, these chives again. This basil is looking beautiful, and there's still a few empty pockets that I'm going to be probably sowing some fall crops. And on this side here, the beans are looking really good. They climbed all the way up. They've been kind of wrapping around now and haven't produced any flowers yet, but I think they're very soon they will be, hopefully. But I also have been noticing some leaf miner damage here, so I'm gonna remove these leaves and get rid of them because I don't want whatever it's crawling in here to hatch and then lay more eggs in the future. So just gonna do that now real quick. And the peppers here are doing really good. These ones here are full of new green ones. They have all little ones coming up. The other bikini pepper that I showed in the last tour that was loaded with fruit, I harvested a lot, and I also actually did my first pickling. So you can see there's a lot of empty little caps here, and there's some other ones that are coming to become red. So this one hopefully is gonna give us another nice flush. They have tomatoes here also. I picked up and pickled some yesterday because I wanted to make hot sauce, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I decided just to pickle them. I also put this sunflower here next to this chair. It's looking pretty good. It's growing quite fast, and I wanted to just see how big it can get in a pot because all my other sunflowers are in the raised bed. So here on this side, the tomatoes are kind of getting to the end of its life. I thought actually we had spider mite damage, but someone told me that this could be bacterial wilt or something. So I don't see any little spider webs. This has been all over. It was on my calendula and it was in my beans and is now in here. So I'm not sure. I think I have to take these plants out. Some of the other plants, like this one on the side, didn't get it. This still looks nice and healthy, but it's very hot, and I'm gonna try to kind of get rid of some stuff from the garden so it doesn't spread everywhere at this point. Those two green stalks here are doing pretty good too. Lots of herbs, a lot of empty pockets in the bottom that I'm going to take care of it later. Now something that I know I have to harvest are these puma peppers here. I've been talking about these other garden tours, how they were my favorite peppers last year. Now they all kind of came to ripeness at the same time. I showed a couple of them on the last garden tour. They're all mostly green, if you guys watched that. But now they're almost all into this yellow and red, maroon-ish color. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest all of them. There's a lot, but I want to do this because I want to make sure that this plant's going to produce another flush for us. It made really, really good hot sauce last year. We loved it, so we're gonna go harvest these real quick. Definitely enough to make hot sauce. These are very hot. They are kind of like a habanero heat. They have a very good fruity flavor, and I absolutely love the color. We tried to pickle this last year. They did not hold the color as well, which I was a little sad about it, so I'm just going to make hot sauce with most of them. And I still have lots of the orange tomatoes that I haven't been canning them very much, so I think I would try to make hot sauce with the orange tomatoes in them and see how that's gonna turn out. Just a few more to go. So this is how much I got. Thought it was gonna be a little more, but that's still really good. So we're gonna move on with the harvesting. I do have to harvest some more beets. They're trying to get to a good size. I've been taking a few here and there, but I'm not ready to take care of them yet. So again, this week maybe. The beets are actually loving these oregano flowers. Every time I come here, there's always one or two on them. I wanted to come and cut most of them, but now I'm leaving them there for the bee. I'll cut maybe a few. This oregano plant's huge and doing actually really good. I did trim a couple times early in the season, and now it's full of flowers, but the bees love coming here, so I'm leaving that. I'm not going to rotate the planter because I don't want to disturb her, but these marigolds here are also growing in the planter. They now turn to the back, but this is actually in one of the pockets back here. It's doing really good for being a big marigold. I do have some supports for this planter. I was thinking to put it out, even though it takes a lot of space over here, because these marigolds are falling. They're getting too big for the planter. We got some potatoes in here. There is the tomato experiment here on that side. I have some tomatoes that are producing, but I do need to try to give some support. It does also have that little powdery whitish thing here, so I might have to trim it, but this one's getting too heavy and kind of falling to the ground. I have to harvest this Thai basil here. Keep forgetting about that. Already went to flower pretty badly, so I don't know if it's gonna keep producing or not, but I'm gonna take this in to dry. Usually the basil changes its flavor when it goes to flower, but you're gonna eat it, the leaves anyway, and I'll dry out the flowers. They do look beautiful. I do love the basil flowers. This one looks like dropped a lot of seeds already, I'm not sure. Go to this raised bed here. Let's take a look how things are doing. This tomato plant literally just fell over. It's so heavy I cannot even pull it back, but I gotta harvest a couple of the tomatoes in there. And the other one here unfortunately snapped the top. They had this fruit up here, and I tried to just tie to this other part. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, so it's just, at least it's not completely bent, so if anything can still go there until these tomatoes ripen. But they're still producing fruit on the top of the plant. Even though I've been harvesting a lot tomatoes, there's a lot more to come, hopefully. There's some more here too. This is the Black Beauty tomatoes. They're extremely productive. The ones in the plot, we're doing a lot of splitting. The ones here, maybe because the soil is better, they're not splitting as much. There's another one here. So this bed is kind of gonna be wild. As I said, it's hard for me to be taking care of everything. There's a lot of weeds in here that I've got to come and take out. That green onion there is getting so big. And I have this cucamelon, which I didn't plant. My neighbor that lived here last year, she also gardened, and she had cucamelons in this bed, and they just are growing everywhere and vining everywhere. And those sunflowers are so pretty. Sorry about the construction noise. There's a few constructions going around us this time, so we're gonna be quick. And here we're gonna be moving to the plot soon, but they're looking really pretty, but they're facing the other way. Next year we want to plant sunflowers on that side, so hopefully they will do okay on those buckets, because we want them to be facing us. So here behind we have changed a lot of things. I took some of the tomatoes are not doing good. I still gotta take this two down. This cucumber though, it's doing pretty good. This is the only plant that is actually producing cucumbers. We harvested probably, maybe not that much, I'd say 5 or 6 from it. This is the 7th. But for us, for the year we've been having, that's been good. I put a sweet potato in here. Sweet potato is lip, and it has been growing along this fence. All of the same stuff that we handed on the garden tours. The big difference here, since I took the tomatoes out, I put some sweet potatoes back there to see if they climb over. This okra, look at that. It's massive, probably the best looking thing in the garden right now, so I'm proud to show in this garden tour. This is the motherland okra. Over there are the sweet potatoes lips. The last video they were just lips. Look how much they have grown. That's insane. In 2 weeks they got up to be this big, so that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get sweet potatoes from them because they take about 120 days. So sorry guys, that noise is really, it's so loud. I feel bad that I have to be filming this at this time. So I'm just gonna wrap up in here. Let me go get those tomatoes real quick on that plant, and we're gonna be moving to the plot to see how things are looking over there. Alright, so we're here at the plot now. A short walk from home. Look at this. So I feel embarrassed to show this, but that's the reality of what we're going through right now. Sometimes it's really hard to keep up with everything. The area that we have things planted are semi kept up, but this area here, I just kind of like, these weeds now are going to seed. I'm afraid that they're going to drop seeds out there. It's going to be even a bigger problem next year. But you know what? One problem at a time. If you are able to keep up your garden super tidy at this time of the year, more power to you. You're awesome. But I've been having a hard time. So I'm going to start to take a little share of this Oh well, take it out. Now we can't eat anymore because it's been nibbled on, probably a squirrel. So I'm gonna put it underneath here just so it can feed the soil. I will make some time to weed all of this. If you can see here, actually, my neighbor's brother, I think, came here and weeded all of this, which I'm very grateful for because now we have a clear path to walk over here. These grapes, I have actually tasted one of them yesterday. They are getting a little soft, but this one specifically looks really good. All of the things are nice and plump and round, so I'm thinking that one would be a good one to enjoy green. But I mean, look at this. It's like ceiling of grapes. It's pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. Obviously, neighbor's gonna be taking probably half or more. We'll be taking some. Hopefully, we can share some. I think we should start eating it soon, so it's not so overwhelming to harvest them all at once and not to know what to do with it. I will try to see. We might be harvesting one at the end of this garden tour. Let's see. But for now, let me show you how the rest of the garden looks. I'm about to take this basket with me inside to harvest some things, but I just saw something right here. This little fairy tale eggplant. I've been taking like 1 or 2 here and there, which is good, but last week I got a handful, so I cooked with it. These plants are tiny, but they're still producing a little bit, which is nice. I have a few more at home that I harvested yesterday from the backyard, so we will be roasting this. The figs are probably, some of them are also ready to go. I'm not harvesting them today. There's a bunch of small ones here, but I've seen bigger ones that the birds have been nibbling into it. This dahlia is not doing so good because it's been really hot and a bit dry. It's producing smaller flowers now, and I have to try to remember to keep watering it. The butterfly pea that I thought it was gonna die, or that died, actually one of them survived, and look at that, check this out. I got a flower. I actually got a few. I can't remember if I said about that in the last garden tour, but I'm very excited about this. Looks like it's picking up and growing up here, so maybe we'll have a few more. So the trellis has been now taken over by all this squash in here. It has a beautiful female flower here open, and this is actually the same squash that's going around this whole thing that I originally was training to go over that little cord or rope. It has now sent a bunch of side shoots and is now covering all of this and sending some shoots around the ground. It's pretty awesome. So this is the only squash that is actually doing well in the garden that didn't get destroyed by the vine borers, but the squirrels are getting to eat them before us. But it's okay, it's a learning experience. I'm very glad that this one at least though is getting wild and everywhere, because I really wanted to see one of them to do this year. The other squashes are there, some of them, they're all now turning yellow and dying. We had vine borer damage in all of them. You can see here how all of the stems now are kind of turning brown and it's been open. The other one is being completely dried out and shoot up. So these plants are they're done. I have to take them out now. Oh look, there's another one here. I love seeing new female flowers from the squashes because they're so big and look so nice. I hope you can get a couple more. The beans also have taken over, which I'm very glad. I wanted this whole season just to have this trellises full of greens, and it has happened. Underneath here they have the same, I think, bacterial wilt or something that is in the tomatoes. I'm not sure, I don't misspread information, but I don't know really what's wrong with them, but they are all having the same things that's happening in the backyard. But the corn is doing good too here. I've heard that you gotta harvest when the tops dry out. It looks like they dried already, but I'm not sure if it's time or not. Gotta do a little bit more research. Every time you get close to this, you find a lot of stuff, which is cool. Here you can get a couple of these beans. Those are the Cherokee Trail of Tears, so they have a little purple tint to them, and when they get a little older, last year they got all purple. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen this year too, but if I stay here I'm just gonna harvest a bunch of beans. So let's try to move on so I don't keep finding them. The other squash that we have, it's coming from the Three Sisters bed, and it's actually, I'm letting it spread on the soil and do what's supposed to do, you know, keep moisture down, you know, cover the soil a little bit. Even if we don't get fruits from this one, I just want to see if it's growing from here. This squash has the ability to send advantageous roots through the stem that would minimize a bit of the vine borer damage. If they attack the base of the stem, and the squash is also putting roots along the ground, that might make the plant strong enough that we're able to grow a squash. And check this out. This eggplant that was almost dying this whole year, the whole time, after the borers kind of got done, it really took over. And we have a little long eggplant here. Has been nibbled, you can already see. But very excited about this. This is a Japanese style long eggplants. I actually got those in Hawaii, and I think the variety is Ramanello eggplant. They adapted to there. It's loving the heat as expected. Tomatoes back here are kind of getting to its last breath too. I think they're getting kind of sickly. I came and tried to prune this week, but I harvested a lot of these very crazy cherries, like a lot. I think it was about like a little thing like this, all full of only this variety of tomatoes. I dehydrated all of them though, because I couldn't eat them all. But they have a lot more greens coming. There's a lot more clusters around the plant. I'm gonna harvest a couple. Some of these yellow ones, they're very sensitive. I found that they fall from the vine very easily. So when they're starting to blush and turn yellow, I'm gonna go ahead and take them already, because I have dropped so many of them I cannot even count. I'm gonna take a few of them. The sun golds are producing well. This plant is looking quite sick now, so I'm probably, after harvesting most of the ones that are in the plant, will take this plant down. You know, I have been conflicted right now about the fall garden. I wanted to do it, but then it's hard to find time. I haven't even found time to start the seedlings yet, and I'm now afraid it's a bit too late. Last year, the same thing happened. I planted them a bit too late and it didn't really do good. So we do want to make space for some fall stuff. Maybe I'll plant some more quick growing crops. Some of them are probably going to live here in this bed where these tomatoes are kind of getting to its end. This is the atomic grape. The plant was not super healthy, but produced a few tomatoes. I found out something about this tomato that I want to share. I was not a big fan of it last year because I was picking it kind of too green. It stays like this for a long time and the vine starts purple, and I thought that I would start getting some of this red you should pick, but I found out that if I leave it there for a very long time until they almost feel like they're ripe, the flavor is so much better. My partner Danny and I had one of those the other day and we're like, whoa, they're actually so good. So with those, I think you really need to leave them in the vine for a while to really give it a chance to develop some good flavor. Same thing with the black strawberries. I'm not gonna harvest. I was harvesting them about this point before. Some of them were sweet, some were not. And I saw someone saying the same thing. This is too young, but you gotta let this get really ripe before you actually harvest, so you can taste more of the sweetness of it. Same with that one over there. I actually liked it. There's a lot of people saying that they did not like this black strawberry tomato this year. I think many things can affect the tomato flavor, like your soil, the heat, when you pick, how much water you put in there. So it's hard to say when you're first trying to grow something new like this seed that Vicky Creek released this year. That's not good enough, but we had some good ones. That's all that I'm gonna say. This side here, these were some of the determinate tomatoes. I harvested a lot of these aromas already and was able to make sauce. Since those are determinate, after this guys ripen, they won't produce anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this plant out too. These midnight aromas here are not the strongest plants in the tomato alley. It's been taking a long time to actually ripe. This side over here, our tomatoes have been doing better than the other side. I can just see that this guy also broke, snapped. They're getting a little heavy and I haven't had a chance to come and stake them properly. But some of them are also getting this yellowing on these leaves. So I gotta come here and try to rescue the garden. There's a bunch of tomatoes in the vines too, so you're gonna get some fruit from it. I've been watching other garden tours and people are saying that they are already wrapping up their gardens for this season. I'm not ready to do that yet. Last year we got good temperatures until into September, so I'm gonna see if I can let them leave for a little longer. Some of them, they're not producing anything. I might take it out and start planting some fall crops underneath if I have time to actually sow them, so we'll see. And that's mostly it for this side. These amaranths are all huge, looking very tall. Same with the ones over there. I love the way the garden is looking from that angle. You see all those flowers. Even though I haven't been able to spend as much time in here as I want, because I actually enjoy coming to the garden and taking care of it and being involved in it, I've been finding myself inside a lot, trying to just preserve and take care of the stuff that I've been harvesting almost daily. It's part of it. It's a good learning lesson for me, that if you plant a big garden, it needs maintenance. I still love it. I still think it's great. I'm very happy that we're able to grow all of this stuff here in the city. So, not complaining, just saying that it's just been a bit of a challenging month for me, more than I wish it was. But here's our little tiny harvest. There's no tomatoes in here. I harvested a bunch of tomatoes yesterday when I came to water. I always try to harvest them before I water so it can have a better flavor. Thank you so much for watching today. This is our little tiny harvest that I'm taking home. If you're curious to see the progress of the garden and how we got here, I'm going to link the playlist right here. Don't forget to like this video if you like to support our channel, and subscribe too if you're curious to see how the rest of the growing season is going to look like for us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.